Hello there. Just back with a quick video, hopefully today, in response to a video that James Griffiths did called the 10 Album Link Challenge. I've already seen a video that John, the 6-inch pianist, has done, so I thought I'd get in on it. It's basically, for those of you who don't know, it's a version of the 5 degrees of separation for Kevin Bacon, or 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. The idea is that one thing links onto another. I understand that Kevin Bacon wasn't very happy when he found out that people were doing it with him. But apparently it's more to do with the fact that he's done a lot of interesting films and with lots of different people, rather than what he thought, which was basically saying that he'll do any old crap. Anyway, that's beyond the point. Anyway, I said I'd do this quickly, so let's start. So the first one I'm going to start with is Delaney and Bonnie. So this is my sort of start record, and I'm aiming with 10 records come back to this one. Okay, so this is from 1969, and it's Accept No Substitute. Great sort of rock soul that they did. Now this has many people on it that you're probably familiar with, but probably the most familiar might well be Leon Russell, who's playing guitar and piano on this record. So anyway, the aim is to come back to this. So, Leon Russell then. Here I've got Leon Russell's album, Hank Wilson's Back, Volume 1 from 1973, which he would obviously do later than that. This is his sort of country record that he recorded. Now, again, it's got a lot of Nashville players and familiar names, but the one I'm going to choose is J.J. Cale, who plays bass all over the album and does some production work as well. So we've got J.J. Cale. Here's his album, Troubadour, from 1976. Now this is probably one of his more kind of country sounding records. And as a result, it's got various Nashville players on it. Probably the most noticeable that I'm going to choose is Lloyd Green playing steel guitar. Okay, so Lloyd Green was a Nashville picker, played with Johnny Paycheck, Charlie Pride, probably famous for some people for doing Sweetheart of the Rodeo with the Byrds. Anyway, so this is an album by Lloyd Green called Steel Rides from 1975, and again, it's full of Nashville players, so you can really pick and choose and move off all over the place with this. And I'm going to choose playing harmonica, Charlie McCoy. So here we have Charlie McCoy's album, The Nashville Hitman from 1974. Yeah, it's got, again, all kinds of people on it. But the interesting artists who are on this supporting him are a band called Barefoot Jerry. Now, Barefoot Jerry were a group of session players that originally were together called Area Code 615 or 615. And they would, actually they worked with Charlie McCoy before both of these albums. Anyway, so they appear on Charlie McCoy's album, and this is their compilation album, Barefoot Jerry's Grocery from 1975, which is a compilation of the first two albums from 71 and 72, Southern Delight and the self-titled Barefoot Jerry. A great guitarist who played on Blonde on Blonde, various other things. He also played the guitar line on Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman, is Wayne Moss. And Wayne Moss, being a session player, turns up all over the place, but he turns up on this, which is the Beau Brummels, Bradley's Barn from 1968, which is a kind of a weird orchestral country rock. I don't mean orchestral, it's orchestrated, it's got strings and things, by sort of Nashville players. And Wayne Moss is playing guitar on this, alongside Jerry Reed as well. Anyway, this is produced by Lenny Waronker. I think I pronounced that right. Lenny Waronker, who was a big name in production during the 70s and into the 80s. And he also produced Randy Newman's Sail Away from 1972. This is that weird one, which the album's really that way, but yeah. And interestingly enough, this has got some. It's not really the Nashville Players. It has sort of the second tier, the more alternative players, and playing on this is Chris Etheridge on bass. Now, Chris Etheridge, for most people, will probably be best known for being in the Flying Burrito Brothers. He also played with Graham Parsons or did some work on the International Submarine Band. And then after he left the Flying Burrito Brothers, he did a lot of production session work. So he was turning up on Sail Away by Randy Newman. Anyway, so obviously we've got Graham Parsons in here and Chris Hillman, who are both in the Byrds. But what I'm going to who I'm going to choose is this guy here, and that's with his pterodactyl nudie suit, and that's Sneaky Pete Kleinow. Sneaky Pete playing steel guitar. So he also plays steel guitar on Rita Coolidge's album, The Lady's Not For Sale, from 1972, which also has people like Bernie Leadon, Al Perkins, Russ Kunkel, Mark Benno, Mike Utley, loads of people. Oh, of course, Booker T. Jones is all over it. But this is taking me back to the first record. So Rita Coolidge sang sang backing vocals on Accept No Substitute by Delaney and Bonnie in 1969, one of the earliest things she did. So there you go. That's the 10 album link challenge. So thanks for setting that up, James. I think it's a great idea. I hope more people do it. So I'll call it quits. So bye-bye for now.